Hey guys, I'm here today taking a look at the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Isla Sorna Capture Pack. Here's a look at the packaging. You can see Isla Sorna in the background, all the forestry there, and the blue sky with the clouds. Really nice background, but it gets ripped when you take the figures out of the box, so you can't really use it as a diorama. And on the floor there's kind of sand effect. And on the back of the box we see the action features and what's included. This set comes with a baby Parasaurolophus, one of the InGen Jeeps from the Lost World, and Roland Tembo, which is awesome because I've been wanting a figure of him. Now first, the Parasaurolophus. This is a lot darker than the others we've had, which are all quite yellow. Even the Lost World one from 1997 was quite yellowy with the stripes down the side, but this is a bit different. It's quite a bit darker, more browny, with a darker brown on top and then some even darker brown spotting. Same along the head there. Pretty nice sculpt though. There's no action features or anything, which I'm fine with. Just has articulation. The legs go forward and backwards. The arms go round, forward and backwards. And then there's a nice swivel on the head there. Kind of pivots and goes up and down. Basically attack pack level articulation. And then of course it has got that app code thing that slides out there. So a simple dinosaur, but that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need any more than that. Pretty nice looking. It's got a kind of a predator style eye though, rather than a herbivore. It's got that thin, I can't remember what it's called now, but you know, the pupil looks like a cobra's or something, like a snake's eye, which is a bit weird, and it doesn't match the other Parasaurolophuses we've had. But other than that, it's pretty good. Now for a comparison, here it is with the first Jurassic World version, the Camp Cretaceous version, and the old 1997 Kenner Lost World version, which scales with the newer ones, so you can put that in there and it looks pretty good. I like how it's standing more upright, so it gives a bit of variety. It's good for taking pictures. So you've got a nice little herd coming together here, and we've got the Hammond collection one coming soon as well, with the added articulation, which I'm really looking forward to, if I can get hold of it in the UK. But it's nice building up a pack of these. Or if you want to, if you've just got the Jurassic World ones, you've got a little family there with the two parents and the baby. Now here's Roland Tembo. He's got the standard articulation that these figures do. The arms go out to the side and round. The elbows bend and swivel out. Head's on a ball joint. It's quite tight though, but you can get it to go from side to side. The jacket's a separate piece. It's kind of this soft rubbery plastic, which is quite good actually, because you can pull it aside and see all the details underneath. Then the legs go out to the side and forward and backwards, and the knees bend and pivot around as well. So it's a pretty good range of articulation on the figure. A pretty good likeness to Pete Postlethwaite, the actor who played him. He's got a bit of a shocked look on his face, but it's not too bad. I've seen some where the eyes look like they're about to burst out of his sockets, but mine's not too bad. It's a pretty good likeness, especially from this side, I think. Looks a bit more like Pete Postlethwaite. There's some nice texturing on the jacket there as well, on the shirt. See all the pockets sculpted on. Some nice detailing to his boots as well, with the shoelaces going up. His brown leather boots. I think that at the top there it should be white socks. I'm not quite sure. I can't remember what it looked like in the film, but it just looks like the bits coming out of the top there are socks rather than part of his boot there. So I don't know if they really should have been painted white rather than brown, but it's not a big deal. He could just be wearing brown socks. Quite muscly legs. I'm sure Pete Postlethwaite didn't have legs quite that muscly in the film. Here he is next to Ian Malcolm, who's the only other Lost World figure we've had so far in the line, though we are getting Sarah Harding soon. She comes with a couple of Stegosauruses, an adult one and a baby one, which is a completely new sculpt. So once again, hopefully I'll be able to get that in the UK. So I'd love to get more of the Lost World cast. And here he is with the original Roland Tembo figure from the Lost World toy line. This was actually the second release, because the first release didn't look anything like him. So they re-released him with a new head sculpt, with a more accurate Pete Postlethwaite face, though the body still looks completely different. Though I do quite like the dinosaur face waistcoat that he's made for himself. He's kind of skinned the dinosaur's face, made a jacket for himself. You can see the costume is not accurate whatsoever. But it's actually not a bad likeness of Pete Postlethwaite. And here's the InGen Hunter Jeep. I think this is a modified Jeep Wrangler. I'm not sure, I'm no expert on them. But it's a really cool vehicle and I'm glad we've got it. Though I will say this isn't the Jeep that Roland actually drove in the film. He had a different one which had a kind of door that came down on the side. It didn't have the fold out feature, which I'll show you in a minute. And I think his had a jerry can on the side. There are a few little differences. This is actually the one that Dieter, Stark and Carter drove in. Though I'd be fine with them re-releasing this later down the line modified to be Roland's Jeep, and that maybe that could come with a Dieter and a Carter figure, because it'd be nice to build up more of the Hunters and have more of their vehicles. But I can understand why they released this one with Roland, because Roland's the most known and remembered character and the most popular character from the Hunters in the Lost World. But this is the most fun Jeep to release a toy of because it's got more of an action feature to it than Roland's did, so it completely makes sense they put Roland with this one to release. There's a spare tyre in the front there, which is a separate piece and it spins around but it won't come out. A minor nitpick I have though is that that bar at the front should be tight against the tyre to hold it in. There shouldn't really be a gap there, because if there was, the tyre would just be kind of bouncing in and out. Also in the film, the lights that are on the top there were actually connected to the roll bar and not the top of that grille at the front. It's only a minor thing, it's not really a big deal. It was just something I noticed. There's still some really nice details and it is pretty accurate. You've got nice little kind of air vents there and there's loads of rivets all along the side, especially as we get to the back there. More of those rivet details. Got InGen written on the side there, and there's kind of a slightly yellower bit of paint along the bottom. InGen on the bonnet too. All these lights are stickers, but they look pretty good. And the lights on top there are stickers as well. More stickers for the lights on the back, though one of mine's a little bit wonky. There's also a jerry can attached to the back. It doesn't come off, but it is a separate piece. It's kind of a shame that it's not removable, so the figures could carry that around. If you've got any of the World Peacekeeper sets that are the same scale, they have a lot of jiffy cans and crates and things like that that you can use that go with Jurassic Park and Jurassic World toys. See, there's two spare missiles that go in the back there. They slide out, and then the third missile stores in the missile launcher. More details inside with the steering wheel, and there's kind of a targeting system there on the missile seat. It's a nice grating effect on the floor too, to make the sculpting makes it look like metal grating. And some pretty good detail into the seats, and there's like a couple of coffee cup holders I think in there as well. Then you've got some more stickers there for the wing mirrors, and they've got a design on them to make it look like the lights kind of reflecting across. It's a nice little detail. There's also detailing sculpted along the bottom, so if you wanted to have it upturned by a dinosaur or something, it still looks good. Now for the action feature, there's a button here, and if you press that, it slides out the side there. It's hard to see, but where it slides out, the driver's feet then kind of go down into the space where it is, so pushing that back in gets blocked by the driver's feet, which is kind of annoying. And then he slides out and there's Roland holding on to the targeting console. Then you press this button on the back here and that'll fire at that. It's not powerful enough to knock it over, but it springs out well enough. Hopefully you've been able to see all the detailing on this, because it is really nice. You can fit 4 figures really nicely in this. It's not a tight fit at the back there like the Jeep Wrangler from the first film. It's a bit tight, squeezing 2 figures in the back. But in this one they fit really nicely. So if you've got some of the hunters from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, they'll fit in there nicely and look pretty good. Now for a comparison with the other vehicles we've had from the Legacy collection, here it is with the Jeep Wrangler and the Explorer. The Explorer looks really small compared to the Jeeps. This is actually the biggest vehicle we've had. You can see it's bigger than the Wrangler there from Jurassic Park, and a lot bigger than the Explorer. See from a top view as well, it's a bit longer than the Wrangler, and the back seat is bigger, so you can fit more figures in there. And here it is with the original Jeep from the Lost World toy line back in 1997, which isn't as accurate. It's still pretty good looking. I mean, it's recognisably that Jeep, but it's not as accurate, some of the details and things. But it scales pretty well. They're about the same size, even though this one's designed for taller figures, because that one has space for 4 figures and that one only has space for 2. It ends up actually evening them out, so they're about the same size. So with the new one you can fit the figures in the back, whereas with the old one it just had a small compartment to put weapons in, so you can only fit 2 figures in there. So if you wanted this one kind of in the background a bit, you could add it to your Hunter's Convoy. And like the new one that has the spring out feature, on this original the side slides out as well, though it's not on a spring, it just has to be pulled out. It doesn't work quite as well, the figure's feet can get caught up in that. And also the figures on this old one can't hold on to the control console because their hands won't swivel round. Also, I don't really like how it's orange on the original. You can see instead of having an InGen logo, it's got the Lost World logo on the side there. Yeah, not keen on the orange steering wheel. There's some nice details in there with the stickers. I got this second hand and someone put the stickers on the wrong way round, which is annoying, whoever owned it before me. Always like mixing in some of the Kenner stuff with the Mattel, so I like that these scale up pretty good together. This original one's got massive tyres though. The size of those. It's great getting more Lost World stuff. Like I say, we've got Sarah Harding coming soon with some Stegosauruses. I'd really like another Jeep that's more kind of accurate to Roland's, and that could come with a couple more hunters like Dieter and Carter. Maybe they could release Eddie Carr with the car that he used to try and pull the trailer back from over the edge of the cliff. And it'd be even better if they released the actual trailer, that big RV, because they released that in the original toy line and it would open up into a playset. I think it was called the Mobile Command Compound, but I never had it because it was kind of rare and expensive to get in the UK. But since Mattel haven't given us any playsets, that would be a good opportunity to, because it could be a vehicle that becomes a playset and they could include maybe Nick Van Owen with that. So that's a look at the Isla Sorna capture pack. There's a lot in this set. You've got dinosaur, human, vehicle, really nice set. It's a dinosaur I'm a big fan of, it's a character that I really liked, and the vehicle's cool. So this is a great set to pick up. So let me know what you think of this set in the comments, and if you plan on picking it up or want to see more Lost World characters and vehicles in the toy line. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.